coma sometimes, I think. I feel like. And I'm having coffee, which is really crap because people won't quit tampering with it and setting me up with their stupid ass earnings. But anywho, which I don't know if they ever paid or not. It's usually a setup or a gimmick or distraction. So anyways, I've been being lazy and have 2 sinks full of dishes and haven't been washing my mugs. And I like a big coffee mug of a morning. So I am washing my mug, which is supposedly have a snake in it. But anywho. So anywho. Why am I feeling like that? Zero knowledge. I laid down before midnight last night. About an hour or so. I planned on staying up past midnight. And apparently did not. Which is common. I get knocked out. I usually get knocked out and put my freaking coma, it feels like. And, I was supposed to be sleeping unless I have total control of my life, so to speak. And that's a huge part of our health is the way it is. So, and I don't have no idea. I usually don't allow the benefit at all in any fashion. Which is the purpose to, it's called sleeping brain, it's called coma, it's called, sedation, it's called, how about what do you want me to be on, I have loved ones and family, and I can't, I don't have my own place from other people, so I can't always, I haven't been able to keep them with me, and, but, being threatened, but anyways, what it comes down to is people are ignoring my when they're menacing, I didn't usually involve my, like when he's getting, taken. And there ain't nothing I can do about it because that's where I get from. And I am not the one that was in charge of the earnings. I wish I knew my life. On top of having amnesia, I don't think some say the wife I had wasn't my actual wife. But anyhow, I'm having my crap ass coffee this morning, and it's usually by this point been took and divided into numerous. And based on chatter, it usually supposedly comes with value. But I don't know about that. I miss caffeine crystals. I miss actual filters coffee. I wish you could smell that. But anywho. So the point is people are after something, and it usually, they feel like they're owed money, and they usually go to extreme measures to get what they feel they're owed. But, I don't have anything to do with, I never had nothing to do with nothing of that caliber. So, and even whenever I did do stuff, it was, face to face and hand to hand, and, I usually paid my debts. I may have, there was talk of them being paid to imposters, which there may be reason for, which would make sense. Numerous scenarios with that. Some make more sense than others. Plus, some imposters are imposters for a reason and do it for that sole purpose. But the point is I am not the one you're mad at. I don't know if my husband was or not, because there was numerous versions of him. And he was supposedly, numerous things supposedly happened. We were also victims of identity theft and still are. So I don't know if he also supposedly led a double life, or one version of him led a double life. One version supposedly led 5 lives. But by my life, I had one, and I was married, and we had kids, and that was that. And we were drug addicts for about 12 years. I am now drug-free, staying sober, and why does it look like Laura Day in my coffee? And I am now out of cream. Anywho, why won't I order from that place again? Honey, getting screwed every which way from Sunday, and it's not always freaking, it's not always from that. It was proven that this is happening at each source. It's happening in the fields where it's grown, it's happening in the factories where it's made, it's happening in transport, it's happening in the grocery stores, and it's happening when it gets home. It happens in transport to home, it happens at home. So anywho, make sure I turned off the stove. I supposedly have hundreds of offspring, and it's because of them scraping my eggs. Hold on. Alright, so anyway, I forgot what I was saying. I lost my train of thought. Everybody's still asleep. I don't know if we can do overnight with the lights out. Something about that doesn't look right. Anywho. I heard not to look because they'd have to run anyway, which is usually standard. Oh, gotta get a paper towel and check my kid. I go to sleep, I wake up, I wonder how long I actually slept. It is, let's see, Wednesday, June 18th. My MRI was canceled. They called yesterday and canceled it because they said insurance wouldn't pay for it. And so I went with the brain scan. Whoever is after me or hates me has it in for me. That's because somebody supposedly went in yesterday under the impression, either has me or under the impression is me, but or some Bastion, and supposedly got treatment and used me to do so in some fashion, and then mine got canceled as soon as they got her out of there. Which I think is how it went with the brain scan also, and I think so because they canceled that, then I went ahead and canceled my test, my other test for Friday, which was the mammogram. May die, I guess. But I don't know who that went to. Or am I not getting out of it that easy? What exactly is your plan with that? Because the way my health is fading, you guys can't keep me alive forever. Can you? I don't have mornings, I swear to God. I don't know. I usually wake up wondering if I'm in the same place I went to sleep. So I'd rather say people I had when I went to sleep. And what was done to me in my sleep. And what location I've been there to. Or what location I'm at. Anywho, I love where my head goes. A lot of the times with business deals, seeing who you actually done the deal with matters. Rule number one of business, you're not supposed to involve outside sources. For obvious reasons. Nobody wants their business put out there or overtook or even taken. And there's usually always competition with any business, whether it's legal or illegal. It could be construed as drastic measures this morning, but it's not the first time it's been done before. I don't know, there was supposedly 5 imposters to him that lived life as him. And they were supposedly owed. But because it was my husband's identity used, it's my life that's targeted. So, and depending on who you talk to, there were some people pull me up all the time saying that I never had him and that I was the identity theft, and And there's been a handful that have even told me that that was why they targeted me and why me and my family are in the state we're in, was because they had the original one and I did not. There's a few of them that blow in every so often and even monitor me and the kids and they usually try and get everything we've got because we have his last name. My boys are named after him. Each of my boys have a name of his. And my daughter's named after his family. So because of that, they blow in and take it. They usually end up with everything we've got. Can't go in my bedroom at this point again, and it happens every so often, and it's happened with both my boys. It's happened with some of the people that were known as my kids. It's happened with both my girls. This room's always been the target for some reason. And it came out recently that it was over somebody named Matt. So, but anywho. Anyways, I don't know what I missed last night. I'm not doing anything. I don't know how to respond to that. I know I do. I have had. It's been like that for a long time, and everything supposedly changed recently. So, there should be an investigation into my fraudulent purchases. And as I said, it's been proven from all sources, so it's not always it's not always a fraudulent purchase. That's your sole angle. Why is it so important for you to cause me to lose income? Because if I lose income, I become homeless and lose everything again. That's only the order because you guys freaking won't deal with the actual person. If you finish reading the original notebook, it plainly says that it was the identity that the actual woman had nothing to do with and should not be bothered. That's the only reason you guys start to drive over is so you can do that, and that makes me think that you are the one in charge of the people who act as me and use my identity. That also makes me think that you guys, everything that you're taking from me, you're giving to them and backing them. And I think that was proven with numerous also, which means you setting me up and taking everything from me and giving it to them makes you just as guilty. Which means you have no right. It's a two-sided thing. An order is an order, you're right. And whether you listen to that order is your call. But you have no reason to mess with me any longer. You never did. My drug dealing days are none of your business, and my drug dealing days are history. Much like a lot of things in my life that you guys took from me. People are breaking in, have been known to break in here, and have, somebody broke in and took my wedding band that I recently purchased with my own money on my own time. And this isn't the same one. The one I got was a 2mm 10-carat rose gold wedding band. Anyways, they took it off my hand, and one of them took it and liquefied it and put it in my groceries. and then went and told everybody that I was drinking and eating their earnings, or that I had the possession of their earnings. And it supposedly caused a huge home invasion and murder. And I believe what's resulted of that is my missing family being either away from home or down in some fashion. And I think they're being held for earnings that somebody else owes. And I don't know if they use my identity or if they look like me or if they're known as me or if it's just a facade through the freaking mic system. You know, there's somebody that stays on social media 24/7 and does it as me. As soon as the pages like that, if they're in on legal turf, as soon as they get dimed, they usually get closed. But like the dark web, the underground web, the illegal web, or illegal locations, nothing happens. They've been known to to sneak into my residence and put cams in and keep it on YouTube publicly. And whenever they do that, all you have to do is swipe a debit card, and you have to have certain background to get access to it, of course. And if you meet the criteria, all you do is swipe a debit card, and you get control of the place. You guys have been putting me through this for way too long, and my health has faded drastically. And as somebody pointed out, you can in fact keep me alive for as long as you choose to, and you can use me and pass me around to have me pay for it. And then you can use it for an excuse to tell everybody that that's where their earnings went and that that's why they're not getting paid. I go through this with you far too often, and have. I've been going through it for close to 15 years, and over the last decade, it's been just about daily, and I am tired and over it. You know, I'm owed too. I got my whole life taken from me more than once. Entire fucking life. I've been going through it my whole life. They used to do where I lived with my mom and dad. After my mom died, or after we had her funeral, they ransacked the trailer that we lived at and took all the technology and took whatever valuables they wanted and left the place a disaster. And that's something that's been done. It happens to me no matter where I live every so many years. Like clockwork. If I sat and got access to my history and studied it and reviewed it, I would be able to catch every one of you. Literally. It's too repetitive. And you guys have taken everything from me far too many times for it to be over a lifelong toy or a collectible or an heirloom or whatever. Now it's over a simple kitchen. Now it's over the simple items I have that I purchased with my own money. So basically all you're doing is using it to create your part or to give you backing. So you can maintain a certain identity or certain facade, which is why my kids and family are always the ones suffering, and which is why we all have so many duplicates, and which is why I have so many offspring walking around, or used to. You guys have been told time and time again to see who you dealt with, see who you done the business deal with, or see who owes you the money. Those of you that do stuff through the mic, I've told you numerous times, I don't do nothing through the mic system, because if we do get anything put out there, then it's because it's either deviant or strong-armed. Wonder that. They're trying to say that everything's made of gold and it's all a gimmick and a setup. And they're taking out 20-some freaking birds with one stone. Which means you get one nug of gold or 1 gram of gold, in a rock, and you owe umpteen people. What do you do with it? If that's all you got for your earnings and you owe umpteen people, what do you do with it? Think about the say it's mild and it's just about the purpose of owing it. Say you owe people, say it's much harsher and it's life or death. And it's something that you wouldn't run after your kids. The threat was so bad or the person was so bad you wouldn't run after your kids. You would run. So what do you do with it? Do you keep it and use it to run? Or do you use it as a distraction and put it to your worst enemy or your somebody you think is your worst enemy, but maybe your only friend or was your only friend at one point? Or do you use it to take the whole enchilada and leave the little nug behind as the distraction to take out what you believe is your worst nightmare? And if you did use it as a distraction, where would you put it? Would you liquefy it and turn it into and then inject a tenth of the liquid into everything in their kitchen, say? Every bottle of water, every Twinkie, every egg. Would you lay around and have people inject their drains so when they shower it comes through their drains and gets on their hair and their body? Would you put it in their shampoo and conditioner? Do you love me? I'm not the one that was said to. I don't know. What is going on? Having morning coffee. And I haven't had an actual cup of coffee in years. Does Folgers even make instant coffee with caffeine crystals anymore? Untouched. Classic. I hate people. Any idea why I can't bask in the glory of the untouched actual Folgers coffee with caffeine crystals? Of having it. I don't go over there, and that is a supposed commonplace. When laid over there all winter, and I think one of my winters may have been more winters than one. And he laid over there and froze to death, and I don't know why, but I didn't even go over there and look. One side of things tell me I was free to look into whatever I needed to and without repercussion, and one side of things tell me I'd get my neck broke if I got caught over there, and one side of things said I'd go to lock up for trespassing. So anywho, I am supposed to be moving in 2 weeks, and even if they stop that from happening, I'm going to have to buy a vehicle because I still have to move. The one that you guys are hearing that keeps telling me that I don't have to move is the one that I'm rarely with, and I don't think is the owner. May or may not be the owner. He may be the owner, but it's, and one is pure control. So when I tell you I have to move, that's what it means. And when I tell you the longer I stay here, the more life I lose, that's what it means. And the thought of staying here 2 more weeks is questioned, and seems impossible. And if you knew what my health was like and what I was going through, you would understand why. So, even if they stop me from moving, like they stop my medical, I still have to find a place to go. And I still have kids that are homeless, and I still have kids that are laying dead, um, that are being done the same way as me, which means they won't let them go neither, which means they have to have a home. So that being said, and I'm not sure which version you are or which mom is yours because I get all of you confused. I have your whole lives. But that's the spot I'm in, so don't test me. Honey, I am not the same person I was. And it's not going to matter who you are, especially if you're doing it deviant or if you've had it planned. I know a lot of you have. I'm also not the person you guys have done business with or the person that they are after. I'm, I don't know what I'm going to do, but I don't know who that went to neither. You know, at one time they were doing technology, and then another time was fool's gold. And a common thing is a filter that makes certain thing overfeed that makes everything look like value. You know, it is called infrared with the actual value side of things. Well, if it's actual value in my copy, it should not be there, and that was specified even with the duplicate locations. And the woman doing it was told numerous times because she's been caught doing it numerous times, and she was told not to do so. You don't break into somebody's kitchen and take somebody's fucking groceries that they freaking have. I went without coffee for weeks, which isn't a thing. People do it daily. And you guys are trying to make me look like a spoiled brat, and I'm truly not. I go without a lot. I'm going without surgery right now and meds. And surgery and meds would save my life and make, I'd have a better quality of life. But the point is you guys take everything from me that you possibly can, and coffee is just another thing. Deb puts a smile on somebody's face who sits back and monitors me and plans this stuff. And I think that somebody is also the one who's sitting in a vault on her own on a very large fucking amount of value. And I think it was stolen, and I think she's known as me. And I think if she don't quit, it's not going to matter who she's got with her. It's not going to matter who she is or who she is to be. All that's going to matter is it's my life and my kids' life. And I'm pretty sure our lives are already over because I'm pretty sure my kids are in the same shape as me. So keep it up. To me, it's my groceries and my life. I don't have nothing to do. There's no reason for there to be gold in my groceries or possessions. If it were mine, if I did have it, then it would expect to be kept. And if it's something that I did go into Walmart and purchase, and then it means it was documented and it was done in my complete and total identity down to face. And that means I'm the one that's going to end up being sued for it if it does pain and there is something to it, which makes it mine. Because if the stuff I'm purchasing is coming in that fashion, then that means I'm the one that's going to get looked up over it. I'm the one that's going to be sued over it. I'm the one that's going to have to deal with the repercussions of the illegal side of things. And that means I'm keeping it. It doesn't mean you take control of me and use my disabled ass to purchase something of value that you know is fraudulent just so you can steal it from me and leave me with the debt of it. I'm not a member. And I'm not under possession. There's no reason for me to be under possession. Okay, say I was made a mark. You guys went that way. You went that way numerous times. This last time, actually the last few times you guys went that way, you were told that it was gone and it had been cashed out. And you guys were told to move on. You guys done that to get certain people out of the way because you guys use certain people to cover freaking a large load or a heist. And you couldn't get clearance to get them out of the way. Because whenever you did, you overtook us and became us. And I believe you ended up getting away with the same thing again. Which is one of the reasons why nobody wants nobody's getting let go. Unknown on that. No, I'm not like I used to be because of numerous reasons. Health being a huge thing, also being safe and secure being a thing. And I've already been called in on this morning over having over fraudulent purchases with supposed gold in my coffee. When the reality of it is I have a sociopath that's after me and that has vowed to do me in and not quit until she gets everything she's after and until I'm done. And then, I don't know if she's the same one or not. If she's not, it's one of her generations. Then they're wanting me hollowed from the inside so she can step into my body and make my bone structure, my skin, hers. Which is an actual medical cosmetic surgery and costs roughly $6 million, and $6 million may be an old amount. I think it would cost more if it was done accurately because there are hundreds of thousands of veins that would have to be connected to make that happen, or to make that work. You would have to attach everything, and to remove somebody's bone structure and replace it with new, and including veins, with removal of skin. If you don't do that right, there's a way to do it accurately to where the person stays smart and healthy. If you don't do it right, then you go brain dead over time. I wouldn't know. To me, I'm me, period. But there is, there's always rumors and chatters that, of me having somebody else's print. Which is also has numerous reasons for that. Number one being technology. Number two being I'm an identity theft victim, and I have numerous imposters that walk around as me and live as me. They've been handing out my identity like it's nothing, which is also getting me violated and causing me problems. I think that's what stopped the doctor. Because I think somebody already went in and had my the MRI as me. I think they went in and had the MRI yesterday and got took straight off for surgery. And I think somebody already went in and had the mammogram as me. Plus, it becomes a personal issue when the woman that has been after me most of my life, or all of my life, gets control, and then it becomes a personal vendetta, and people don't even know why. When it's about who's in control of them. It wasn't illegal. My medical insurance had already approved it, and you guys hacked the system and went in and had the approval pulled, and that's how it happened with my brain scan. And if you would have let me get my brain scan, I would have went straight in for emergency surgery, had it fixed and been fine. I'd be a whole lot more functionable now. If it's not over earnings, then what is it over? And who is saying that? Which mic this time? You know, regardless if this is true or not, this is my life. Do you see that? Everybody in that obituary has over 100, or close to 200, or around 200 plus imposters. And if needed, they have more. That's also my calendar. That's also my marriage application or marriage license. Also, that needs to be pointed out. So, anywho, you have done this to my offspring their whole life, have you not? Why don't you go about it a different way, or you're going to be assumed to be in on it? You were told to see who you dealt with and to keep average innocent people out of it. And you have not done that, and we're back to square one now. So, and we've been through this before. This is deja vu. So I don't know what side this is. Okay, so this is redone, which means a lot of people are disabled and may not be able to help it. I have multiple forms of amnesia, so I know what that's like, and it was done to me deliberately. My first form of amnesia, whenever I was 11 or 12, when I got my first, whenever they gave me my first form, And then I developed another form over my teenage years, another form in my early 20s, um, and so on. And I most recently have developed over the last 5 years 3 to 5 forms over the last 3 to 5 years, and it was done deliberately. So I know what it's like to be disabled and to not have control over nothing and not be able to do nothing about nothing, because you guys drive me nuts on a daily basis, and it changes people. Um, but my point is if you shouldn't be doing business, then you shouldn't be doing business. I get that because you guys keep trying to put me in that spot, and where it would be a lot easier for me to handle and deal with if I lived on my own, even with my disability. But I am also not the one that's under possession. I'm also the one that's being mimicked and put in a spot of somebody that's under possession that was known as me or known to use my identity. So that being said, two different sides of the tracks, and I wouldn't make actual possession for shit. I barely make the current situation I'm in. But the point is you need to keep innocent people out of it. You need to see who you've done business with, and you need to work something out, because screwing average people and screwing society isn't going to work. And the fact that you are doing things the way you are, it's making you known as a terrorist, which is a whole new ball game. Certain certain things that you're known as, or certain labelings that you get, make it a whole new ball game, and which I think is why a lot of people are in the spot they're in, because whenever somebody who's under possession and in debt, whenever somebody takes their life, that debt usually goes to the person who took their life, and they usually get put under some form of possession also. And the very scenario that we are talking about, as I said, most people won't even, I won't even run under the house to anymore. I won't, I sit on my ass like a bump on a log and don't move most days, and spend most of my time on my own. And certain people are big on using certain scenarios to lure people out to catch them, and that keeps me at home, and it keeps me trying to play everything safe. It also keeps me from running into a lot of people that have been taken from me, and it makes me miss out on a lot of life. But and it makes me look like an awful parent and person. So I guess what I'm saying is I know I'll never know, because each person is different, and I'm not saying that I know what it's like to be you, because I don't, and I wouldn't want to be you for shit. I wouldn't make it. But don't put me in the same spot, or do me the same way you're being done. I know it was planned. The plan came out whenever I moved back from Hamilton County. Whenever I moved back to Austin from Noblesville, is whenever all that came out. And just about every bit of that plan has been completed. I think part complete was wrote, and move on. I think that the new notebook came out, because no, it comes out every 10 years. It may be based off the lifelong one, but the lifelong one was based off of a specific time frame, and you guys were basing that off of a bloodline that you thought, that you believed to be guilty, which is why that one's never seen, which is why one is wrote every 10 years. It's wrote every 7 to 10 years. And that's namely because it's starting to look like you guys are the guilt, or the people that wrote the damn thing are the guilty parties, and are passing it off on others so they can keep everybody distracted while they live the good life with it. Why do you dump everything in my lap, and why is there supposed gold in my coffee? And even if there were gold in my coffee, nobody should know about it. I didn't make sense the first time is what you guys don't get. Just because people went with it and used it and used you doesn't mean nothing. They always knew who the appropriate guilty parties were, so you guys aren't fooling nobody. You still aren't fooling nobody. All they did was let you take out your only fucking friends were the only people that would have helped you. They kept me so aggravated through the mic system that it's not even funny. No, I look quite awful, and that my feed is always deceiving. I accidentally hit the retouch button. They're big on other live feeds. Anywho, I always do that. I don't have your visual though. What's that in reference to? Yeah, there are rumors that I have a duplicate Roku TV, and that better not be the case. There's also rumors that you guys stole the actual one I purchased and registered. It wasn't fake money. The money came straight from the freaking bank and went straight to the register. So there, you're not going to use that for an excuse to steal it from me. And even if it were, that would be between me and the freaking Walmart and the bank. I'm not putting it on nobody. I'm making a few simple points. If you guys hired them on me, that wouldn't even make sense. Are you doing everybody in America this way, or are you picking on solely me? You've picked on me since I was 5 was just heard, and I don't know who said it. I've had kids in need for 3+ freaking decades, 4 decades even, and I'm in my early 40s. Doing digital graphics and throwing other audio in, and my visual that I have isn't matching me. That's how it always is. This is an old outfit that I've had for several years. They always write their little checklists and go down, and they keep calling and checking each item off the list until they accomplish what they want. They done this to me on Broadway at Grayland Place, Twin Lakes, Coal Creek, where else? Crothersville even. There's usually 11 standard that are off the top, and then what follows after the 11 standard it usually involves around 30 some departments or bureaus that they call regularly. And it usually is a bureau or a department that would be relevant to every aspect of my life. Crap coffee would be, you would think it would be one, but it's not one of the common ones. It wasn't when they were, never mind. It may be because they think it's gold, but people are deviant, people lie. Somebody wants to know if somebody had enough time to get away yet. Because I'm tired. And I told you guys not to do me this way again. I wouldn't remember. I most likely wouldn't have even have caught it, or if I did catch it, I disregarded it. Do I look pathetic? I'm in my early 40s and in a worse spot of my life than I've ever been in. I don't know. I'm in no spot anyway. In reference to calming him down, it's not. That's not an ability that I have, and I don't have visual or audio anyway, so I don't have the right the ability to do so. Um, but it has to do with people being owed earnings. So you're gonna have to get hold of his mic system and see who's got control of it and who's in control to get to the bottom of it. And my family is most likely being held and unspeakable things done to, which is common. I don't know what accusations I'm facing this morning. Some were over my clothing and some unknown. So I also don't know where my kids are. And I still don't have an accurate number on how many kids still have parasite issues. It's not always like that. They'll get you used to that spot, and they'll even tell you that it was your income or your assets that they stole and used to purchase it. They'll tell you the whole goddamn enchilada, and then you'll open a soda one day and they'll tell you it's a freaking bar. I had to quit drinking soda. I haven't been able to freaking have a soda and I don't know how long. I've managed to snag at one here and there recently, but I usually have periods of time where I get over it or go broke and have to go without coffee too. They're doing the same with dairy. I'm trying to move. Oh, it'll change when I move, trust me on that. That's one of the purposes to living on my own and being the one that makes the decisions. That's why I had to be my own domain, which is why you guys are trying so hard to keep me from moving out on my own. It was once said that at one time frame solely, I had over 170 sets of kids and over 170 versions of my husband. That was with day-to-day life, with living together and being married with kids. I was with the identity from February 13th of 1998 to his funeral, which was November 21st of 2013. I've had a few affairs since, or a few flings, whatever you want to call it. Nothing serious. It was, makes me look bad on my part, but basically single since. And I've lived with other people known as family since, and so now one of the ones I'm supposed to live with my aunt and uncle and my kids. We're currently one kid, and because I don't know what happened to the others, but so now it's all blowing over on my uncle and aunt and kids. So basically, it's the same thing that's always gone on, apparently, and it even apparently always went on with my aunt and uncle and kids also. So I was told that nothing was no different now than it was then. But I am single. I've been single. I haven't been in a serious relationship with nobody since I lost my husband. And as I said, we are victims of identity theft. As I said, we have numerous imposters, and I'm a victim to the duplicate location. My whole family is to duplicate locations. And as I said, I've had a sociopath after me most of my life who seems to have more control than what she should. So, it's a possibility. One scenario is that nobody in my life has died, and they're all still alive and being held and under mind control. What that means is it means they may have their own life and may be alive legally. But to me, it means that they've had a funeral and they have a tombstone. It also means that they may be under possession or somebody else's control, the mic system under mind control. And amnesia, whoever it is big with brains and how brains work, and with knowing how to put people in comas, knowing how to paralyze people, knowing how to control somebody in every way. And when you have that kind of education, there's no limit to what, to the control that they'll have over you. I mean, you have to, it takes years or even a lifetime to get the education that certain people have. They're big on sleeping brain. They're big on comas. They're big on brain shock. They're big on paralysis. And they study each part of the brain, and they know what part of the brain to target to do what. And you people aren't grasping that, and you aren't realizing what that is like, and the ability that it gives somebody. And a lot of you it would require you actually going through it to grasp it, and then you may not even realize it. Some of you, would be different and could grasp the whole enchilada just with this conversation. And I've always been uneducated. I'm a high school dropout, and I've got mad brain trauma untreated at that, with numerous forms of amnesia. So I am the lower end of the totem pole, as always. I don't know. I don't know, oh, looking like a jackass on YouTube is something. That would be a different kind of amnesia. That's more of a, what's it called? Never mind. Anywho. Actually, starting to think we live in a corrupt world all the way around. And all of you split the pot and are waiting on your earnings. Or the whole place has been overtook, or the terrorists, the U.S. never bounced back from the 9/11 attacks. And we have a duplicate location in another nation that is controlled by the terrorists. And the whole world is overtook and nothing works as it should. Somewhere the world is functioning as it always has. I just don't know. I don't know. I'm babbling like a jackass because I forgot everything. I'm sitting here having my morning coffee, which is crap, and somebody may have pickled and just to piss me off every morning. Which I think is actually the point. I think it may be to get me killed too, but is it meant to make me look valuable and wealthy? Like I'm living a fly life? That should tell you people something. But anywho, I don't know what it is. I have to have facial reconstructive surgery and ear, nose, and throat work done. And a good percentage of my body and brain are dead tissue. So I don't know if I qualify for surgery or not. And even if I did qualify for surgery, certain things are illegal and have to be done any way you look at it. I just went blank again. Anywho. Whoever's pitching the parasite needs to quit. Quit. I don't know what makes it your gold or if it's even gold, but if it is, you need to keep it from going in my goddamn groceries. Excuse my language. You were told to see who you dealt with.